I'm gonna turn around. Hey everybody, it's a Smashing Game Time. We are two brothers that go through gaming's back catalog of yesteryear. I am your host, Nick. I am joined as always by my brother, Josh.
No.
Yeah, this is a quickie episode. This is the episode before GOTYSO. We are recording this and we're jumping right into GOTYSO, right, Josh?
Yeah.
Josh doesn't like that I sang that and didn't do it the way he's used to. He's very uncomfortable right now.
I'm very.
This cat seriously did not. I've been down here. I've been down here doing this for an hour. Josh and I've been sitting here for 15 minutes. This cat did not get on here until I started doing show stuff. It's I don't know. He's aware. I don't know if he's aware of the recording button or if there's like some radio stuff that goes into the air that like makes cats horny for like being destructive. But he waited until I hit that button and now he's attacking.
That cat is not right.
Did you see that? You saw that though, right? Like
I saw that. Yeah.
I want you to confirm that with everybody. So I'm not just
folks, for those
snitching.
who are listening and not watching, yes, I can confirm that cat did engage in sexual relations with that microphone.
He did. So no, Ernie will get up on this desk. This microphone is on a like a scissor stand that's I almost said shrapnelled to my desk. No, it's what are these little things called that you hang off the side of the desk, Josh?
Well, it's mounted, everybody. It's mounted to the desk. It's a arm desk. Like,
yes,
you twist it and it like clamps on.
There it is. Josh has the words when I don't. I appreciate you for that, Josh.
Yeah, but, I was struggling there too for a minute.
But he'll rub against that and the cords. So I have the cord running along the arm, but I have the little Velcro thing, so the cord isn't like super loose. But he still finds a way to try and unplug it. It's infuriating. It's maddening. But I say that all to say that today's not a regular episode. Today's a shorter episode. We're just doing a tier list of Nintendo properties that the top ones. Josh, how many in your research? How many Nintendo properties did you say that you became aware of?
So they have 356 IPs. But if you were to categorize, so they have like Mario Party or Mario Kart. Those are technically sub IPs, but they are actually their own IPs. But if you were to combine it with just like Mario, it's like 306.
So what Josh did was instead of doing all 306, because we would be here longer than a GOTYSO episode, Josh picked 25, right? 25?
I think it ended up only being 24.
That's fine. 24 is fine. And we're going to tier them, the tier list, YouTube garbage is what I like to say whenever I see tier lists pop up on YouTube. But I do enjoy watching them. Josh, you know what I fell down the other night while I was sitting here working on stuff?
The YouTube rabbit hole?
A Watch Mojo Resident Evil rabbit hole.
Oh, see, I'm assuming it was like a few years back, Watch Mojo. Like when it was actually good.
It's recent, and you know what? You're right, because I was watching a recent one, and it was pretty bad. Like the guy that was doing the voiceover was just like he was very robotic. I don't think he was AI, but he was just very stiff.
Yeah, I don't know if she still does it, but the Watch Mojo girl.
What is that? Is that her official title?
Like literally, well, it's funny because that's what Tom Holland and the guy who plays his best friend in Spider-Man. They're like, oh, you sound like the Watch Mojo girl. And she goes, that's because I am.
Oh, it's not. I mean, for some reason, whenever someone says Watch Mojo girl, I always think Jessica Chobot, who was the IGN Daily News girl for a while. But it's not Jessica Chobot. No disrespect to Jessica Chobot. No, but yeah, the recent ones, and I think it was giving me all recent ones, actually. And the other thing I've realized about Watch Mojo is because I watch a lot of Resident Evil ones, and it was like, top 25 scariest moments in the series, top 10 scariest monsters, top 10 jump scares, stuff like that. Like it'll start to repeat it, and you're like, oh, this is
they do
bad.
that. Where they literally pick like one category or one item, and they'll just like nitpick it to death.
Right, and then even like when they go and talk, like they kind of talk themselves in circles.
Yeah.
when they break out, when they say what it is, and then they give the little description after, it's just bad writing.
It's it used to be better. I'm not saying like back in the day it was like any better. Like it was just better, I think, because the quality was there, and I think because they had an identity at least. Where now it's like now you're the group who just basically picks one topic and you make like 10 videos on it, and a lot of it's just repeat, and the scripts are a lot of it is repeat.
They're like, take number 10 from this video and put it at number 4. These fuckers will
Yeah.
eat it up anyway.
And, like literally verbatim, it's the same exact words. They might change like their tone for the list, but it's like verbatim, like the same exact quotes. And it's like, dear Lord, could you put like minimal effort into this?
Yeah, I think I saw it in the way they talked about Lady D in like 2 separate videos. I was like, oh shit, these are just about exactly the same. Yeah. And then I hopped off the Resident Evil rabbit hole and I got into the Dark Souls rabbit hole,
which I'm sure was not much better.
Yeah. So this one, the way this one started, it was the best boss fight from the past 25 years. So they picked the best boss from 2000, 2001, 2002, and they kept going. And it was a pretty good list. I was like, oh, these are all really good. But most of them were Dark Souls or Soulsborne related. And I was like, oh, well, now I need to watch a bunch of Dark Souls stuff. And so that's what I did. That's what I did for about an hour last night while I was folding laundry, instead of watching other stuff that I wanted to watch. Yeah, all that to say, folks, if you see a Watch Mojo link, go the other direction. Find anything else. And if you're watching this and you see the Game of the Year so far banner below us, that's just me testing it before we officially do it next week. But hey, you're getting a preview of what it's going to look like. I went with a simplistic look this year. Last year for Game of the Year, I did like a space thing that like took a lot of hours, and it looked like shit. And then Brat happened last summer, and I should have just taken a note from that and been like, no, just do something stupid, simple, and people will eat it up. So I threw on a blue background, put on some cool little filters on it to kind of make it look like a blue screen for a TV, like when like the old blue screens when you're booting up a video game on the aux, Josh.
Yeah, Channel 3.
Yeah, I went very Brat with it. I'm a year late as always, but we're doing the Brat look. Let's do some chores before we do this Nintendo tier list. What do you say, Josh?
All right, knock it out.
All right, everybody. Smashing Game Time is a lovely gaming podcast that you can get anywhere, including Apple, Spotify, YouTube podcast, and YouTube proper, where we have video. That's right. You can see our lovely faces and my armpit. Maybe not my armpit. Maybe we'll edit my armpit out. We'll fix that in post, right, Josh? We'll cut it out. We'll cut it.
Don't worry, everyone. We'll have that on leaknudes.com.
We will blur out my armpit. I'm sorry that you had to go through that. I'm sorry you had to see that. But no, yeah, check us out wherever you get your podcast. Fuck the algorithm, tell a friend. I watched a movie where someone said fuck the algorithm today, and I was pretty happy about that. So it's spreading. I think they know who we are, Josh.
I think we need to go ahead and capitalize on that right now. We need to copyright that phrase.
Motherfucker with what money?
I will put the down payment, my friend.
Down payment. I'm gonna beat you with I'm gonna bust you with a brick up your head. Whatever Bernie Mac said in that Transformers movie. He's yelling at his mom or his wife, I forget who, and she like flicks him off. And he's like, I'm a It's one of Bernie Mac's last roles before he died. R.I.P. Bernie Mac, I loved you, man. I think that's it. That's all our chores at the top of the show. You can go check out smashinggametime.com. That's where you'll find the podcast. You'll find words there, but we'll talk about that again later. Josh, you want to get into this tier list?
Let's do it. We got some juicy ones and some why are they even on here ones.
Yeah. There are some. I looked at this list earlier, and there were a few on there that I was like, Josh, yeah, you had Bayonetta on there, which I was like,
so that one was one I literally went on there. I typed in like Nintendo IP list, and someone had on there. I was like, oh, okay. So I clicked on it. And I'm like, I didn't think Bayonetta was. And I was like, okay, maybe they are, and maybe it's like a Pokemon situation where they own like 33% of it.
I like the spirit, but I was like, let's get that off. And then there was another one, Starby, and I was like, no, you get the fuck out of here with this Starby shit.
They own that though.
I know, but who?
Bayonetta was the only one that on that list they did not own, and I was like, God damn it! Of course, it's Bayonetta is the ones that caused me the problem.
Who But who's playing Starby, Josh?
Maybe the people in Germany are. You don't know.
All right, let me run through what games we have here for the folks at home. You can't see all of them because our Smashing Game Time logo is covering some of them, and the page is just the way
It's too big.
It's there's too many games. There's too many games. All right, so let me go through the games that we are going to put on this tier list, or the series. I'm sorry. We have Animal Crossing, Advance Wars, Donkey Kong, F-Zero, Golden Sun, Kid Icarus, Kirby, Super Mario, Metroid, Mother, Pikmin, Pokemon, Ring Fit Adventures, Splatoon, Star Fox, Wii, Zelda, Xenoblade Chronicles, Fire Emblem, Super Smash Brothers, and Nintendo Labo. I just realized you got rid of Mario Kart on this.
Mario. So that list I sent you originally, that was someone made that. This one I pulled all of them.
That's fine.
And even
if
then,
if Mario Kart were on here, I'd put it in the F anyway. So
I was saying even then, I mainly picked series. I was trying to avoid individuals because once you start throwing like Mario Kart and all that, it gets a little too technical. I wanted it to be branched out. It's like, you know what? We're gonna pick Super Mario. We're gonna go for all of it. Do you love every single sports game? No. But how do you feel about Mario in general?
So I mean,
He's the mascot.
It's listed as Super Mario, but we can just assume it's Mario. It's Mario.
It's Mario. There wasn't a clean Mario. I could only find a good, clean Super Mario.
All right, so let's start. Animal Crossing.
Ooh, okay. So you're probably gonna hate me for this.
Well, hold on. For the folks at home, we have A, B, C, D, and F. We don't have an S. We don't have the cute little internet thing that we're gonna say. No, it's just A, B, C, D, and F. Josh, you said I'm gonna hate you for an opinion you have about Animal Crossing. Go ahead.
I think it's C tier.
No, I think you're fucking crazy. C tier. Okay, explain yourself.
So we grew up with the original on the GameCube. Loved it. That was probably even then it was like one of the cool things because you can get the Nintendo arcades, which is just the NES games on there, which is really super cool. When you try to collect them all, you had all these things. You get introduced to all these wacky, wonderful characters and all these cool things you can do. And I think that they haven't really done anything that's different other than they introduced like, hey, you can join other people's worlds and see what they're doing.
I think that's all you really need to do. That's the appeal of it. It's a cozy game. It's their cozy game, and they've had some bad iterations of it, but ever since the first one, I think everything's been a net positive. I think back to the 3DS one. I think that was that the one with the train or the
it was the one with the train.
And then the addition of the turnip markets. The calendar was already like revolutionary back on the GameCube, and so they kept that. You have the different events, you have the ongoing support. Though I think New Horizons the newest one.
Yeah,
I think New Horizons, they just dialed that back a little bit. Which, I mean, it's been 5 years. You know, it's kind of crazy. I remember playing that first Animal Crossing on GameCube, and when you fucked with the calendar, I think the last year you could set it to was 2020.
It?
I'm pretty sure it was 2020. I'm pretty sure it only went that far, which, you know, in hindsight, that's kind of eerie. What did Nintendo know? But no, I mean, if you look across this list, this is the one. I mean, if it's not Mario or Metroid or Zelda, this is the one that you're like, okay, we're getting a new Animal Crossing. What are they going to do? What kind of online things? And I do think the thing holding it back more than anything is just the dog shit ways Nintendo implements online. I think that's something that holds Animal Crossing back altogether.
I think the only reason it did so well is the fact that, one, everybody was stuck with COVID. Like, you couldn't go anywhere. So it was just nice to interact. And I think it had a lot of celebrity endorsement. So many celebrities.
Yeah, so people
into it.
So people were stuck at home playing it. But I remember, like, people were doing improv, like hosting improv shows in it. Like, they were streaming themselves doing it, and they would have other people over. But they were doing improv shows and other bullshit on it. Like, it was really cool. And I don't think that's a sum of the game's parts, but the fact that people were able to get creative with it and use it in that way in like a really dark time. But overall, I do think the Nintendo's poor online practices does hold it back. You say C, I say B.
Okay, I will give it a B just because you did convince me with the fact that they were doing cool things with it. But I think if they were to implement their online better, I hope with the Switch 2 they do a better job with it. But it's Nintendo. We're better. We have better chance of them suing us than we do of them actually making a decent online platform.
I look forward to the lawsuit. I do think, I do think there's easy ways for them to introduce more things. Obviously, you have, I don't know if they used Amiibo in the past for anything. I think they did use Amiibo, but expand the way you use Amiibos in Animal Crossing. Like, let me use a Mario Amiibo and it gives me a Mario outfit or whatever. And then just better online, because online has just been a mess for forever, and that's just fucking Nintendo. All right, up next. So Animal Crossing is in B. Up next, we have Advance Wars.
Okay, so let's think this through. So there was Advance Wars 1 and 2, Rise of the Black Hole Army, I think is what it was called.
I'm not sure. But
Either way,
I'm a
sorry,
Mark S. Mark for this game, for these games.
Mark S. Mark.
I'm a Mark ass Mark for these games, Josh. Like, pump these right into my veins.
I loved Advance Wars. Like, I was more pumped for the remakes than anyone. Like, literally, okay. So yes, in a nutshell, it's just a strategy game, turn-based strategy game.
Yeah,
you're basically Fire Emblem but modernized, but for war. But there was just something so great about it.
They're cute little military guys. The game was pushed back when Russia invaded Ukraine, which rightfully so. And then Nintendo was like, let's get this out in 2023, which they did, the remake, the 1+2 remake. It's funny, they got that out probably at a good time, because then, everything that's happened the last few years with the additional conflicts on the other side of the world. I think the thing going against Advance Wars is that outside of the 2023 re-release or the remakes or whatever you want to call them, they haven't really done much with them, right?
No, I think it's been a very silent series. And I don't think it's so much the fault of players. I think it's Nintendo going like, well, we've got our top 5. We don't really need to throw Advance Wars in there. Like, if we want a turn-based, like, over-the-top strategy game, we've got Fire Emblem. What do we need Advance Wars for?
Yeah, people find that one turn-based game they're going to play, and they play it. Like, I look at Marvel Midnight Suns, which is a really good turn-based game, but everyone was of the essence that they're getting their turn-based goodness from somewhere else. And yeah, so it's the same thing here, where Nintendo folks have Fire Emblem. Why do they need Advance Wars? It's just a reskin.
Yeah.
Which makes me think that an Advance Wars stage in Smash Brothers would kill, by the way. If we got one of those, I'd play.
Oh, dude, that'd be so cool.
It's just the different like weapons, the different artillery firing in the background, and you see it fire, and then it hits the stage.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
That would be so good. I don't think they're bad games. They're great games. I think it's the problem Sony has with their third person action zombie games. Like, we have The Last of Us and Gone Home. We're just going to do The Last of Us.
The market is oversaturated.
So I would say it's a C.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not because it's a terrible series. It's just because Nintendo doesn't. It's the redhead stepchild of the two.
Yeah,
and they don't care about them, it's not their fault.
All right, so Advance Wars in C. Up next, speaking of redheaded stepchild, we have the redheaded Kong. He's red, right? He kind of looks red. It's Donkey Kong.
Technically, he's brown.
He's looked red in some of those games, especially in Donkey Kong Country. He kind of looks red.
I digress. Either way, yeah. So the surprise to say this, but the what do you call it? The first game that gets released upon the console.
Oh, the new Kong game coming up.
Yeah, but what do you call a game that a launch release?
Yeah, it's a launch title.
Yeah, it's launch title. Thank you, launch title. Technically, because everything else that's on there is already either already on the Switch, they just gave it the Switch 2 pack, or it's a game that's been out forever, and they finally said, "Hey, we have the technology to put your game on our console."
Can we call it a launch game? I mean, it's been a few weeks. When I think launch game, I think, oh, the Switch just came out today. I bought it. Here's the game.
You literally, that's the only game that's for it. You bought it. I know, I agree. Switch 2 is doing it a little different. Let's be honest. Well, it's the same thing the PlayStation 4, to be honest.
Don't tell me that don't. They're doing it different. No, the game just didn't meet the launch window, Josh. Don't tell me they're doing it. You have a future in PR, you little asshole. You have a future in marketing. Hey, we're doing things different here at Nintendo.
Let's be honest. Besides Cyberpunk 2077, name one or a game that was not on the Switch that is on the Switch 2.
That Welcome. The Switch
fuck
2
the
tour.
Welcome. No,
fuck
the Switch 2 tour.
No, it's right. I'm right. You're wrong. I'm right. Josh,
I
answer
fucking
this.
hate you. That's why I'm raising my voice. Fuck you. No.
Mario Kart World as well. Answer this question. Answer this question.
All right, lay it on me.
Is Kong back? It feels like Kong is back.
Better question. They brought Pauline back.
I've seen some weird memes about that. Are they? Is that his Peach?
Did she fuck a monkey?
It's Donkey Kong.
I didn't hear no.
My question is, does Donkey Kong take his tie off to fuck Pauline? That's my question. I'm not asking if they're fucking, because I assume they are. My question is, does he take the tie off to fuck?
Apparently he puts on overalls.
Wait, he does?
He's a big... Yeah, apparently in one of the trailers, he literally was wearing... He's not wearing his signature tie. He has overalls on. And that's it. The man is butt naked in overalls.
Oh, I mean, he has to cover up his donkey dong. All right, we've been riffing too long on this. Donkey Kong has a checkered history, I think.
I mean, yeah, let's be honest. Like Donkey Kong Country 1 through 3, fantastic. 64
64 is fine. It's a messy game, but show me any N64 game and I can show you where its mess is at.
Oh no, agreed. But it's definitely a questionable thing that Donkey Kong 64 broke the console so badly that they had to release the expansion pack for that game.
I remember that fucking thing because you would put Donkey Kong 64 in and your N64 be like, hey bro, I don't know what this shit is.
Then for what I understand is it's because of one particular code. That's it. There's like one code in the game that if you did not have it, it would just crash.
64 was fine. What was after 64? Was that the Donkey Konga era?
Yeah, that was the GameCube Donkey Konga era, and then
he became the paraphernalia guy. He was the paraphernalia. He's like they're like, shit, he's not doing anything. Make him fucking do the bongos. And then Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze was fine. They did, I think, Donkey Kong Country Returns. I think those were both Wii.
Mm-hmm.
And then he didn't do anything for the Wii U, really. And then Switch, he just had the Donkey Kong Country Returns remake come out just this year. Otherwise, he's kind of been a side character for the last 2 generations.
He's gotten the Metroid treatment.
But then he's got Seth Rogen voicing him in the movie.
Yeah.
That's not nothing. That's a rising star right there. That's a rising star, Josh. And there's stars in Donkey Kong. Seth Rogen saw those stars and he's like, I'm a rising star. Donkey Kong's a rising. Yeah. I'll stop with my Rogen bit.
I mean, I'm interested. I'm not seeing anything outside of the trailer for the new game. I'm interested to see what's going on because it very much looks and plays, from my understanding, like Odyssey.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I think it was hilarious when Switch 2 stuff was coming out and people saw like glimpses of a redesigned Donkey Kong. They were losing their fucking minds.
Yeah.
Like they were so, that's not my Kong. That's not my Kong. Where's my Kong? And it's like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
guys, everybody's gonna get a fucking redesign. It's gonna happen every fucking time. Just accept it. It happens. The world moves on.
Mario's gotten shorter. It's
And
he's
fatter.
gotten shorter and fatter. Oh, I don't want to put. Gosh, is Donkey Kong in the D? Because I think
Yeah.
the Donkey Kong Country games are good, but everything else outside of it's just kind of a mixed bag.
And even then, we really haven't had a good Donkey Kong game in 20 years.
Returns is fine. Returns is fine.
I
It's okay.
said good, not okay. I said good.
All right, Donkey Kong in the D. Quick
Speaking
recap.
of game, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Quick recap. Animal Crossing we've got in the B tier, Advance Wars in the C tier, and Donkey Kong in the D. Speaking of,
I was going to say, speaking of sidelining another great game because people like one other fucking racing game, F-Zero.
So is F-Zero playing the back seat to Mario Kart?
Yes,
Okay.
100%.
But so is Diddy Kong's Racing, which I think Diddy Kong's Racing is probably the best racing game Nintendo's ever put out. I will die on that hill.
That's fine. I liked Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo.
Okay.
Hell, I even said Mario Kart Double Dash was fine.
Double Dash is fun. I like that aspect of it. I thought it was really cool the way they implemented Mario Kart on the original 3D or the original DS and the way they made
that was fun too.
online work for that. But otherwise, every other Mario Kart, I'm just like, it's fine.
And World just makes me want to hate it even more because they're like, it's $80. Why? It's the same game. Well, we're going to justify it being $80.
The
As
worst,
far as I'm concerned, they haven't done it.
the worst thing about World is just seeing it all over the internet.
Yeah.
People are like,
Honestly,
look what, like, I saw so many videos of like people in carts dancing, and everyone be like, this is the greatest game ever. I was like, why? Because the characters dancing when the race is over. Like, characters have been doing idols forever.
yeah, since the Super Nintendo.
Like, show me something that really makes, like, show me a really cool racetrack, or show me like a really cool stunt you pulled off to get into first place from last place. I don't care that Luigi's making his car bounce back and forth. What is this, GTA? Is he gonna let the hooker out after and run her over?
Is he going to pull his
F-Zero.
gat out and start blasting? Yeah, F-Zero. Last time we had one come out was the GameCube.
Oh man, I forgot about the GameCube.
Yeah.
That was F-Zero GX.
Yes, it was. And there's so much to love with F-Zero. Yes, it's really fast, but that's the great thing about it. You're super fast. It's a super futuristic racing game, and you've got all these cool tracks. Like, there's so much to love about F-Zero. And know what they said? Mario Kart's better.
So I think F-Zero's problem is, I think motion sickness does come into it. I think the cars do go very fast, but I also think the kind of racer F-Zero was very popular on the Super Nintendo, and even like the N64 era. I think of like Jet Moto, which Jet Moto was a faster racer. I also think of like Whiplash being faster. I think once you get into F-Zero is an arcade racer. It's an arcade racer by heart. When I think of F-Zero, I think of Rush San Francisco. I think of all those different kinds of racing games like that in the arcade. And I think those just don't transition to consoles really well. And I think that's F-Zero's problem. And Nintendo's like, well, fuck, Mario Kart anything is basically our GTA 5. So we are going to do Mario, and maybe we'll do like did they do an F-Zero 99 on the Switch?
Yeah, I think they did.
Did they do? Okay, so they have done something recently.
Yeah, but that's not the same as giving it its own game, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it was Nintendo's era where they were like, let's put 99 on the back of this title and have people compete against each other. And that's fine.
The only 99 that was fun was Tetris.
Dude, Tetris is sick. I love
Exactly.
Tetris. I think the other thing F-Zero has going against it is people are only aware of it because of Smash Brothers and Captain Falcon.
Yep.
Name another character from F-Zero, Josh. I'll wait.
I just remember he has an evil, like, not twin, but like an evil racer, just like in Speed Racer.
They call him Colonel Eagle. His mortal enemy is Colonel Eagle.
Honestly, you could
fast
be right,
racer.
and I would be like, yeah, that sounds right.
No, his name's Colonel Eagle. I'm
Is it
telling
really?
you. Josh, I think we have where F-Zero is going. I think if you look at the
Yeah, it's
first
in the
letter in
title.
F-Zero,
Yeah, it's in the
it
title.
tells you F-Zero is going into the F spot.
I hate to see it, but at the same time, I mean, yeah, I mean, sorry,
Yeah,
Nintendo sucks dick, and they can't figure out what they're doing with it. So yeah, F Zero is in the F.
you hate to see it. All right, we got some tough ones here in the next few. We've got Golden Sun.
Ooh, Golden Sun. All right, so this is GBA uh, JRPGs.
There were two of these, right?
There was, yes, and
GBA,
they're sequels, or one's a sequel to the other.
and they were not turn.
Yeah, turn based.
They were turn based, and they did that cool little thing. They kind of did like the three. They
That
played with
2.5 3D.
yeah,
in
where your
between there.
character's backs were to you, and they were kind of staggered away from the enemy, and they would attack. Yeah, so that was really cool. I couldn't tell you anything about the story. I never beat either of these.
Well, so the first one is basically following I forget their names. It's Ivern and somebody else. They basically witnessed uh, the people who caused the avalanche in their village from fucking with a temple that is hiding a secret treasure. And basically, it starts out with them getting older, learning to use their powers. It's called like Psylocke or Psyach or something, or Psych. I can't remember exactly word for word, but essentially, they figure out the traps in the temple. They find this piece of jewel that helps these villains get the powers that they need to take over basically the world. And basically they're gathering the Dragon Balls to make this super powerful summoning, and they're going to destroy the world.
Yeah.
And it's basically following them, trying to stop them. And the first game is like the first half of the story, and the second game follows it right after.
I mean,
If I remember correctly.
you had me at collecting the Dragon Balls. And they haven't done anything since that second game, right? They haven't re-released these or even tried to remake them or done anything.
Nope. It just sat there on. I think they did the Wii treatment where they eventually gave you like the or the Wii U where they give you the, hey, you can buy this game on our system and then own it for the Wii U, and that was it.
And we're sure this is a Nintendo property.
Yes.
Let me go to my boards here. All right, where would you put it?
Since it's one of the very few, actually probably one of the only JRPGs that is renowned and owned by Nintendo, I'd like to see it go at least a C.
I think with limited support since it came out, I think we'll put it right next to Advance 4. So yeah, Golden Sun into C. I'm not going to argue that. I would have argued, like, if I were going to put it, I would have been like, D, you ain't touched that shit in 20 years.
I would say, like, to them, like, the Mario and Luigi Superstar Sagas, or those ones where it's like turn-based, those kind of took over, but it's not like a front for front like how you look at Advance Wars and Fire Emblem or F-Zero and Mario Kart. They were different enough where it's like you can't say like, well, it's a word for word. It's like, no, they are different to some sense. It's just, unfortunately, Mario is going to get the better cut of it because he's just the mascot.
Yeah, Mario or Nintendo's going to pick the mascot, have him do the thing instead of like, who are these anime boys? Get these anime boys out of here.
Right.
All right. Golden Sun in the Sea. Kid Icarus. This is the one people.
Yeah.
This is the one people bitched about. We're like, we want a new Kid Icarus. Where's our new Kid Icarus? And then there was a new Kid Icarus on the 3DS, and it was just kind of, eh. And I don't think they've touched it since.
No, I think that was the last time. And honestly, I don't think it'll ever touch the light of day again.
I don't think we have to say too much about it. I think we put it in the F next to F-Zero and move along.
Yeah. Sorry, Kid Icarus. I'm sorry, Pit.
Sorry, Pit. No, I'm going to call him the wrong. It's just like calling Zelda Link or Link Zelda. Like, sorry, Kid Icarus. I don't like you as a character. And everyone's like, he's Pit. God damn it.
He's Pit.
Up next, Kirby. This guy sucks.
Yeah, well, let's be honest. Kirby is the reason Kid Icarus doesn't exist anymore, or shouldn't exist.
So Kirby's always been like their back pocket mascot.
This was Pikachu before Pikachu.
Yeah. Kirby Because I think of Kirby's Epic Yarn, which was a cute little platformer they did. Was that the Wii or the Wii U? I forget which one that was.
I think that was the Wii because the Wii U had the Yoshi one that was Yarn.
Yes. And then they did the Kirby Forgotten Island or whichever one that was on Switch. It was basically Kirby on during a zombie outbreak, of all things. The SNES Classic Kirby All Stars with all the different Kirby collections, which, you know, when you're over here giving me games on my PC, I should have gotten that while you were here. But don't tell me.
Just say the word.
Don't tell.
Just say the word, and I'll make sure I pull my copy out.
Oh, you got a copy of it? Don't tell Nintendo. I don't want to go to Nintendo jail, Josh. Kirby's just kind of been there, and he's a dirty dog in Smash Brothers. My favorite thing is Kirby in Smash Brothers is to swallow somebody and jump off the stage.
And the fact that we got Meta Knight out of him, which also is, well, maybe not so much in the newest ones, but I remember when Brawl came out, that's all people played as. And it was just, it was like one of those, you go to tournaments and all you hear is, you cannot play Meta Knight.
He was broken as fuck, and there was nothing that could be done because Nintendo. This is back on the Wii. That was when Nintendo was sending patches through carrier pigeons.
Yeah,
couldn't do it, dude. Kirby's a fucking I think Kirby's like a black sheep. He's an underdog, dog. I think he's a.
He does, and let's be honest. There's not. I mean, in my opinion, at least that I can see, there hasn't been a terrible Kirby game.
No, I don't.
Maybe not to like Mario's like sales standards, but when you think about it, people talk about Kirby. Have you heard of a bad Kirby game?
I just thought of one. He had that Kirby Racer on GameCube. There's like Kirby Star Racer or whatever.
Everybody gets a fucking racing game. That doesn't count.
Nintendo's like, everyone gets one racing game. You better fucking make it count.
GTA is only 2 titles away from getting GTA Racing. All right.
I'm okay with putting Kirby in B if you're okay with putting Kirby in B.
I'm okay with Kirby in B. Kirby, like I said, Kirby is Nintendo's "we own this bitch" Pikachu.
Kirby's just a down ass mother. I love Kirby. I fucking love Kirby. Do you think Paulina and Donkey Kong let Kirby watch?
For sure. No, if anything, he's used as a sex toy.
Wait, do you think like a couple has Kirby swallow one of the couples and they're like, all right, it's a 3-way, but there's like 2 of the one because Kirby swallowed the. We'll talk about it off show. We'll talk about it off show. All right, Super Mario. Come on.
I mean,
come on.
Do it. Just do it.
Even the worst Marios are still so fucking fun.
They are.
I mean, just think of the last 3 Marios we've gotten. I think there's Mario Wonder, which is just fun side-scrolling Mario with drugs.
Yep.
Mario Odyssey, which was just mainline Mario. Mainline Mario that built off of Galaxy and Galaxy 2. And then was it 3D World or whatever?
If not that, it was the Mario Maker 2.
Mario Maker 2. Which, not as good as Mario Maker 1 from what I remember. But still. You get to make your own goddamn Marios.
I mean, there's a reason he's the mascot. He's the same coloring as Nintendo. I mean, yeah.
There's a reason they take their time with these games. They don't rush them out. They've even experimented. You had Bowser's Fury a few years ago. We haven't had a mainline Mario game, like main 3D line. We're coming up on 10 years. We're either going to get an Odyssey 2 or it's going to be called like Mario. I had something inappropriate, but I'm not going to.
Say it. Do it.
No.
Give into the hate. Strike him down.
Mario watches Donkey Kong and Paulina from the people. That's the game. That's what the game's called. Mario's going in the 8s here. Get me out. Get me out of here, coach. This is the one Josh is going to go to bat for.
Yep.
Up next is Metroid.
It made a fucking franchise and a genre. You cannot tell me that this is not a staple of Nintendo, or at least early Nintendo.
Well, you know what, Josh? You got to tell Nintendo that. You don't have to tell me. You got to tell Nintendo that.
Nintendo doesn't know what the fuck they're doing.
You got to tell Nintendo. I do think the Metroid part of Metroid hasn't aged too well. As in, the Metro. I feel all these other games are passing it. We look at Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, and they had that implementation of, hey, take a picture of this area so you remember what the fuck you're going back to get. And I remember playing that and then thinking back to Metroid Dread and just thinking, man, Metroid Dread didn't have this.
So, and I love Metroid. I thought Metroid Dread was fantastic. I think the only reason Metroid Dread happened is because they made a deal with the devil, and they said, "Okay, we'll make 5 of these games to finish out the story. 5 of them, that's it. And then we're not going to fuck with this 2D anymore. All 3D."
I think the thing I didn't like about Dread, it was the same team that did the Samus Returns remake or whatever.
Yep.
Which that game fucking sucks, Josh.
Dude,
I'm sorry.
And I thought the original 2 was hard. I'm telling you what, I thought Return of Samus remake was fucking harder.
I'm not a fan of that. So then when you tell me that the team that remade that is doing Dread, I'm immediately like, meh.
But see, I thought Dread was also easier.
Dread was easier.
Even playing playing on hard mode, even I was like, yeah, this is so much easier. I don't know if I'll ever go back to Samus Returns remake. Like that
game. That was pain in the ass.
I absolutely loved the teleporting. I absolutely loved the maps. But that's it. Everything else in that game fucking frustrated me. I've never been so fucking frustrated at a Metroid game before. I even enjoyed pinball over that.
At least from the 2D standpoint of Metroid, I think the Prime games are fine. They're a lot of fun. I never played 3, but I'm excited to see what they do with 4. It looks like 4 is finding new ways for you to open doors. Hopefully there's more than that, but we'll see. But my issue with 2D Metroids are that it feels like they just lack any innovation now. Look at Fusion. Fusion is now a 23-year-old game at this point.
Yeah.
The big thing about Fusion was that they added story beats. Their actual story, the elevator rides where she's reflecting on Adam and like, that computer just called me lady. Ha 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 ha. It's like the guy I used to love. Ha ha ha. Which was cool. Like you didn't really see that. That was Nintendo striking out. But then, I mean, looking back, you're like, it's fucking Nintendo. This 100-year-old company is doing stories. I think we're giving them too much credit here. But then you look at Dread, and I remember the big thing for Dread, the big marketing push was like, we got these scary robots, and when you're in these areas, you gotta be careful, man. You gotta be careful, because you know what? We took your powers at the beginning of the game. You knew we were gonna do that, but now you got these robots, and if they catch you, they're gonna fucking kill you. So you gotta be sneaky. And I'm thinking, what else you got? What else? Like the whole formula is, oh, we're gonna take your powers again. It's gonna happen. Instead of finding new, like, why not have a game where I'm badass Samus Aran? I'm on a planet. I have all my fucking powers. But then there's this bad guy I can't beat, and I need to go get all these brand new powers that you guys invented. Like, stop. You're giving me the same game, just putting a new coat of paint on it.
You went better. Let me be this badass Samus from the last game where I've got all these fucking cool abilities, but give me these enemies that even though I have all this equipment, there's too many of them, and the more and more I fight them and they attack me and do damage, the more of my abilities I lose. So it becomes more of a survival than it does a, hey, you lost all your powers, go back and get it.
Yeah, just play with the formula. There's a reason. I think Metroidvanias there's too many. There's too many now. There's too many.
It's gotten out of hand for sure. I just actually started what's it called? Ultros?
See,
I just started that.
See, but Ultros does some interesting stuff with that.
No, it does, and I'm liking it. I'm saying, like, sorry, go ahead.
Have you started playing around with like the Living Network and everything?
Yes.
Yeah. What Ultros does wrong, I'll go off on this tangent real quick and then we'll get back to Metroid. What Ultros does wrong is it takes the wrong lessons from Metroid, and it's like, hey, We're rebooting you every day without your powers. What? Why? Why do I need to go retrieve my powers every day? This is dumb as hell. And your powers are all linked to the little robot, and your power. Ultros was a weird game, but it has some really cool ideas. That living network, mwah, amazing.
Yeah.
But back on Metroid, I do think that they need to do something.
My problem is I don't think Nintendo wants to do anything with it. They're happy with Mario. They're happy with Zelda. Hell, they're even happy with Kirby.
Does it do well here and bad in Japan, or does it do great in Japan and bad here? I'm trying to remember.
I thought it does well in Japan and not so good here.
It might be the other way around.
It might be. I don't know.
I think sci-fi a hard sell in Japan? I don't know. I'm not. I am an uncultured swine, so I don't know.
They have a fucking talking donkey. I don't want to hear shit. Or donkey. They have a fucking talking Donkey Kong. I don't want to hear shit from anybody.
Josh, I'm gonna pitch you on this.
You're gonna either say D.
I think the only thing that keeps it out of D are the Prime games.
See, I like to think it was at least Super Metroid and Fusion. Those are like the two. Like, I mean, even Zero Mission I thought was decently done.
Super Metroid is fine, but your best game only carries you so far. Like when you, and I love Fusion. I love Fusion, but like they're big. Okay, the other big thing about, okay, now I'm going to talk myself into it. Fusion has you fighting yourself, so that's pretty cool. But then they go back to that bag multiple times. They're like, hey, Metroid Prime, here you go. Here you go. You have Dark Samus now.
Prime 2, though. And even then, they ended, like, with Prime, it was, you didn't find out until you beat, I beat it on very hard.
Yeah.
And collect 100%.
That your little suit had come to life. That Metroid Prime was living in your old Phazon suit. I think it's a C, Josh, don't you?
Yeah, it's a C. I will eventually die on a hill saying it's an A-rated series because Mario's garbage, but until then.
All right, Metroid into the C. Let's recap real quick because we've got a few things on the board. In the A tier, we've got Super Mario. In the B tier, we've got Animal Crossing and Kirby. In the C tier, we've got Advance Wars, Golden Sun, and Metroid. D tier, we've got Donkey Kong. And then in the F tier, we've got F-Zero and Kid Icarus. Up next, I don't know much about Mother. Josh, do you know a lot about Mother? I know people love Mother 3.
Yes. So Mother in Japan, Earthbound in the U.S., this is where Ness and I forget the little blonde kid's hair name.
Is it Lucas?
I think it's Lucas. Yeah, it's where they come in. For those not aware, it takes the original like turn-based JRPGs where you couldn't see the characters in the battle. It was you are just looking at the enemy. So think of like the old Fire Breath or the old what used to like. I can't say like the original Final Fantasy, but like the Final Fantasies that were on the Game Boy Color.
Oh, I know what
I think it was called Legends. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
Legends
you never
and
saw
Legends too, yeah.
Yeah, you never saw the characters except when you're in the overworld, but when you're in battle, you didn't. So
is someone going to break into our houses and kill us if we put this any lower than a C?
No, I mean, it does. I mean, they haven't done anything with it since 3, obviously. That probably will never happen. It has its cult following. It's a great series if you haven't played it. If you haven't played it, go give it a try. It's really good. Great stories. Basically build off of each other. Basically, it's a bunch of kids. Honestly, if we're gonna put it down as anything, it is Stranger Things with aliens. That's basically it, but not as scary.
Where do you want to put it?
I mean, you can go ahead and throw it in the F just because it doesn't get the love anymore. Like I said, when it comes to turn-based games, they've gone to Mario and Luigi.
You're gonna get us killed.
That's fine. We've already pissed off the F-Zero people, so it's fine. And Kid Icarus.
Wait, are F-Zero people just Sonic people in denial? People who are in denial about being Sonic people?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. We're going to put Mother in F. I don't know how to feel about that. Really, I don't. Someone tell me. Up next is Pikmin. Josh, I'm pretty sure this is the only series that is physically available Every game is physically available on the Switch.
Yeah, actually, I think you're right.
I believe that. Yeah, I believe this is the only
Because they had
Nintendo
1 and
property.
2.
1 and 2 is packaged together.
Yep.
3 and 4.
Yeah.
Gosh, I think Pikmin. I don't think Pikmin's a black sheep. I think Pikmin is like a leading man. Because 1 came out, and the big issue with 1 was, oh, the time limit stuff. I don't like the time limit stuff. It's my anxiety's through the roof. Please get rid of the time stuff. And then 2 is like, okay, all right, the time stuff is gone. And they've just been building up these Pikmin, introducing new versions of Pikmin. They even did an app basically like Pokemon Go where you're collecting Pikmin while you're walking in a park.
Is it still a thing?
It's still around. I don't do it anymore, but I'm aware of it. And then you could send your Pikmin out to go pick up like something at a park nearby, and it'd be like, all right, they'll be back in 2 days. Hopefully they don't get eaten. Actually, I don't think there was ever a threat of them getting eaten, though I wish there was. I wish
that would have
been
been honestly, that would have been 10 times better. It's like, hey, none of those Pikmin survived.
Hey, you know that big fucking bird? Yeah, those Pikmin got eaten. Speaking of my Watch Mojo hole at the top of the show, there was a like boss list that had like Pikmin bosses on it, and the Pikmin bosses are fucking terrifying. They're huge.
Yeah, it's well, I mean, it's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
I seriously do think Pikmin is either an A or B slot because it's a consistent game. It's been coming out. There's some care to it. Miyamoto fucking came up with the shit while in his garden. He was like, what if my plants were little people? And then he said that, and then they made Pikmin. And I mean, it goes back to my thought on people like to shit on the GameCube and yeah, Nintendo was in third place with the GameCube. Da, 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 da. But I look back at the GameCube and I see Animal Crossing and I see Pikmin. I just see these series that started up on that console that people were just like, this is just an okay console. And now those are like staples. Like anytime you have a new Nintendo console, you should be expecting a new Pikmin, a new Animal Crossing.
Well, yeah, I took over Donkey Kong, Metroid, F-Zero. I mean, what was the original? Like, I joke and like, you ever see like the what's the Shonen Jump characters?
No.
So it's a joke like Goku was like obviously with a big Shonen Jump, and then like he helped bring up like One Piece, Bleach, and Naruto.
So we have him to blame for all of this.
Sort of. It's like you have like he was the original. Then he like these three, he raised them and made them who they are. Now that Dragon Ball's done, these three are leading it, and then these three made 3 of their own type things.
Yeah, it's I know what you're talking about.
That's basically what's happening with that is they took over Metroid, they took over Donkey Kong, like not in a bad like they replaced them completely, but in like this is what everybody was gearing towards because it stuck.
Well, I mean, look at the games that Metroid. I don't think has Nintendo done an in-house Metroid. It's been Retro Studios doing the primes for forever. They had Team Ninja do a Metroid, and then they had whoever did Dread in the 2 remake. I forget what they're called. And I think Nintendo owns them now, but that's still the point. Like that, it was an external office that's in there now. Whatever. Donkey Kong, same story. Retro Studios did Donkey Kong Country Returns. I don't know. Is this new one an in-house? Like maybe this new one's an in-house one. I'd have to double check on the Kirby. But Pikmin, I'm pretty sure Pikmin has been all in-house. It hasn't been an external team working on the Pikmin games. I think it comes down to, hey, we're Nintendo and we're tired of working on Metroidvanias, so we're going to go do these Pikmin games that we're having way more fun with.
Nintendo did do the new Donkey Kong.
Okay. So they're finally fucking with the Kong again. They're like, hey, we're gonna get this guy laid. Get Paulina in this shit. I'll stop. I'm sorry.
The first 30 minutes is nothing but Donkey Kong just plowing Paulina.
Oh no. It's a quick
time. You hear
it's
old Kong just banging on the door. Damn kids.
Get out. Move out. You're all in your 30s.
I can't.
Pikmin.
Uh,
I want to put Pikmin in A, but you might stop me.
no, go ahead. I like Pikmin. It's not that I don't like them. It's just it yeah. And then looking at Kirby, by the way, the uh, Return to Dreamland Deluxe
Yeah.
that was done a third party,
Okay.
and Forgotten Land also done by third party.
Who did third? Who did Forgotten Land?
Forgotten Land is HAL Laboratory.
What else have they? Click on them real quick. I wanna run down of what
So
they've done.
most recently they've done pretty much a lot of the Kirby games. Oh my god.
Okay, but yeah, so Nintendo's found an external team that like does Kirby really well. Like Nintendo with some of these series, they're like look at where Konami is with Silent Hill and Bloober right now. That's where Nintendo is with a lot of their older IP. I feel like, man,
Based
do
on what
they
I'm seeing,
own?
I think
They own
they
Retro.
did.
I don't know if they own that Mercury Studios or whatever it's
I don't
called.
think so. HAL is actually the same company who's been making Kirby since day one.
Oh, well, hey, look at you go, Hal. Well, we know Pokemon's Game Freak. Nintendo owns Game Freak, right?
I don't think they own Game Freak. So how I actually had to look it up because I wasn't sure.
Because Game
So
Freak's doing an Xbox game.
yeah, so they own. So Nintendo owns 33% of Pokemon, and it's also owned by um, Game Freak and then another company. I think it said it was like Pocket Monsters or something like that.
So speaking of that, Pokemon's up next. These games have gotten rough, right?
Yeah, it's not the same Pokemon.
I mean, there was. I forget what gen it was. The names was it Sword and Shield where they started not putting older Pokemon in the game. They just decided not to do it anymore.
Sort of like sort of like it was like to me at least, it wasn't like we didn't get like a whole new like, hey, here's a whole another generation. It felt like they kind of like threw in some Pokemon from different generations in there, on top of some new Pokemon.
There, Pokemon's another one where the fun ones are the ones where they're experimenting. So was Arceus the one from a few years back that everyone got really into? It was a Pokemon journalist or whatever exploring the world, fist fighting Snorlax,
Throwing rocks back like you're in the safari. Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother. I don't know, man. Just the newer Pokemons look bad. There's a reason the graphics on that are a meme.
Well, yeah, because they always like. Well, we get Breath of the Wild, which is a launch title for the Switch and was on the Wii U. And then on top of that, you give us this game, which comes out, 3 or 4 years later, and it looks so fucking awful. And they're like, well, we can't put that many stuff in our game because of the console. And it's like, you're full of shit because we saw Nintendo do it with Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, look at that guy.
So we know you can do it.
Look at him. I mean, I think up to Generation 4 and 5 were fine. And again, I'm blanking on where I jumped off at. I haven't played in a long time. I think Pokemon can go in the D area.
I agree. I mean, I think the last, I think I agree with like Generation 4 or 5 is probably the last time it was like really, really good. I'm thinking like Pokemon Coliseum.
Like Coliseum was fun. It was a fun little game.
And it was different. I liked it. Like, yeah, this is really fucking cool.
I like the fighting game they did on Switch. Pokemon
was cool too. I'll give that.
Fun.
Pokemon, and that was a great experiment. Like, god damn, bring us that shit.
I mean, it's
even there.
It's
what was that
basically
one
fighters.
That was basically
it's basically Dragon Ball Fighters, but it's with a Pokemon layer of paint on it. That's fine.
What was that one that was basically League of Legends? It was a MOBA.
Ooh, was that Pokemon? Was it Pokemon Legends?
Maybe.
I think you can still download. Is it still? Can you still play it? Is the question. Here, I'm gonna look in the store real quick. Pokemon
Unite.
Pokemon Unite. That was fun. I played that for a little bit. Man, people are still playing that. Those poor bastards.
I remember when it first came out. It was really cool.
Pokemon Go was fun in 2016. I mean, we're splitting hairs here now because that's not even. I mean, that's Nintendo and Game Freak signing the rights over. Be like, hey, do your thing. People like that trading card thing that came out. I fell
Yeah,
off so fucking hard on that, by the way.
I did. Oh, I trust me. I think I opened packs for like a week, and I'm like, I'm kind of over this, and I just deleted it.
It was the Pokemon getting back to us. Hey, you can be addicted to us again. I was like, no, I cannot. Get out of here.
No, I've seen what you took two of my brothers away from me, you sick
You
fucks.
took my brothers. You know the videos where scalpers are taking all the boxes from the kids. Those are our brothers now. No, I if I saw a video of Matt or Mikey doing that, first of all, I would laugh because that's my fucking brother, man. And then second, I would call them up and be like, "Hey, maybe it's time to stop."
Hold on, we have to call shit on Matt right now because he says he bought two and he's gonna keep one. Now he's like, oh, I'm gonna sell this one, and I'm like, I called him a scalper. He's like, oh, I'm not scalping. I'm just trying to get my money back. That's scalping, dude. You scalp that.
Look, I can't shame. I wasn't scalping amiibos, but I was buying amiibos and holding on to them. I made my money back by the end of it. But I was called a no good scalper by someone who thought I was hoarding all the Marths. And that was that couldn't be further from the truth. So I will not wag my finger at a scalper who I'm related to. But I get it. I get it. You see an easy buck, you're like, I'm gonna make that easy buck. But maybe don't wrestle a kid down for a pack of cards. Which our brothers haven't, by the way. In case anyone's listening to this and they're like, "Oh my god, their brothers are terrible." No,
Oh my
no,
god,
no.
you sick motherfuckers! You chasing down children.
These sick bastards. All right, so Pokemon's in the D where it belongs. Ring Fit Adventure. Oh my god. Well, first of
That's
all,
right. Raven Adventure gets its own because it is an IP.
it's IP. It's new IP. I hope they put a new one out for Switch too. They'd be dumb not to.
That is rumored, or not rumored. It was part of their talks that they got the green light to do one.
Yeah, because the new one doesn't work with the old one, so they have to do a new one. Drago is a great character. If they do not put him in the next Smash, they are fucking high.
By the way, the Rule 34 for him, chef's kiss.
The Rule 34 for Drago is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen, and I love it.
It's on. He has. It's. You would think Nick's phone's like lock page would be like his kids or his wife or even one of his dogs. No, man. He knows. You know exactly what it is.
It's Drago. He's. But I don't want to fight when I'm playing that game. I don't want to fight him because he's just trying to get me to work out. Which I'm like, yeah, I should. You're right. Let's work out together. But we still fight. This Nintendo's workout stuff has been fun since the Wii. I'm not gonna argue that. It's been great.
So I'm not saying the Wii was bad because we got Wii Sports. Wii Sports was really cool.
Yeah.
But then you get to like the stuff where it's like, okay, now you've got the Wii Smartboard, and it was very finicky. And I'm like, And then Wii U kind of tapered off because there wasn't anything there. I do think the Switch revolutionized it a lot better, and I like what they did with hey, you just need these two controllers, and you can do so much with it.
Yeah. So the Ring Fit, my biggest thing with it is. It's cool. It's a cool little apparatus. I hate that I need a leg strap, but it makes sense. I just wish, give me, anytime you're messing with a leg strap, you're messing with something that's not gonna want to latch all the time or stay put. Like, I don't know. Is there something you can do where I just put the controller? Can you make a strap for my shoe that it'll strap to my shoe? Can you do that? And then, I don't know. I would like some options for resistance on it. Because there are some workouts where you're pulling and pushing, where after a while you're just like, this is fine. I want it to be harder, and the game does well on its own to do that because it'll up your rep numbers or your rep counts. I just hope the second one has some customization to it, and I hope Drago's a good guy in that one because I think he's a good guy. I'm okay putting it in the B if you are.
Okay with it. I mean, you've given me plenty of entertainment with it, and it sounds like it's a fun game.
Oh, I get sweaty. I get very sweaty playing that game. It's fun.
I'm sure you do.
I should stream myself playing that game. That'd be a fun stream. Yeah. Sexy, sweaty stream. Let's recap before how many more we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 8 more to go. But let's recap what we've got. In the A tier, we've got Super Mario and Pikmin. In the B tier, we've got Animal Crossing, Kirby, and Ring Fit Adventure. In the C tier, we've got Advance Wars, Golden Sun, and Metroid. In the D tier, we've got Donkey Kong and Pokemon. In the F tier, we've got F-Zero, Kid Icarus, and Mother. I still think they're going to kill us for that, but hey,
That's okay.
we lived a good life. Up next is Splatoon.
Yeah, 1, 2, and 3.
Nintendo has a competitive shooter, Josh. How do you feel about that?
Well, it was only a matter of time. It was bound to happen because so Splatoon came out right as battle royales were becoming a big thing, right?
Yeah. So Splatoon 1 was on the Wii U. Let's see. So was Fortnite and PUBG, was that 2016?
Okay, so let's look. So Splatoon was 2015.
Okay, so Splatoon was Wii U 2015. So
then-
they had that, which it did okay for it being a game on the Wii U. It did fine.
Oh, PUBG was 2017. Never mind.
Okay, wow. So the window of Fortnite coming in and eating PUBG's lunch was smaller than I remember. So then Splatoon 2 comes out on the Switch too, which I think they just call it Splatoon? Or did they call it outright Splatoon 2?
I think they called it Splatoon 2.
Which that one was fine. That one had didn't they have like the things where you could vote for like mayo or ketchup, and like they would do those votes, and they're just fun little shooters where
Yeah.
you're painting the world. I mean, hell, Square Enix just tried to rip this off with their bubble shooter, whatever the fuck it was called.
Foam stars. Or something like that.
Foam Stars. It's the most exciting way anyone's ever said Foam Stars. What a fucking joke. Is Foam Stars still playable?
I'm gonna go ahead and say no.
Let me Google that. Where do you think this belongs, Josh?
I mean, I think a C. Honestly, it's not that it's not good. I just think there's so much more you could probably do with it. It's once again, it comes back to Nintendo's multiplayer. Their multiplayer is not that good.
Yeah, you have to kill a cousin and enter a friend code and do like summon a demon. Yeah, I think Splatoon ends up hurt in the same way Animal Crossing is by Nintendo's poor implementation of online. Though there's some fun stuff with the draw. I mean, the one video we saw of people drawing dicks. Not the most
Splatoon 3. Yeah.
not the most appropriate thing, but no. You know what? Hilarious. So were you saying B or C?
C.
C? Okay. I can see that. And I can confirm Foam Stars is still playable, so go download that shit now.
Shit, I might just to get the trophies.
I need to see if it's on Steam, because if it is, I think it was locked behind the PS4, but we'll see. We'll see. I would dabble. Up next is Star Fox, which Josh has if you thought Josh had a hard on for Metroid, he has an even harder on for Star Fox. This guy likes his Nintendo sci-fi.
Star Fox Adventures, man, that was my game.
I'd like to be in the meeting, the intern that pitched Star Fox Adventures to them, or the guy who pitched it, like he was playing Zelda the night before, and they're, all right, what do you got? He's like, he's on a planet. We give him a staff, and he is a talking dinosaur companion. They're like, okay. And he follows him around. Okay. Does he get in a starship? What starships?
What happens at the end? He fucks the fox girl.
Wait, does he?
No. Well, I mean, they end up like dating. Yeah, she's in the second one.
Which the second one went back to like, hey, we're done fucking around. We're going to be in the ship.
Yeah, we're going to be in ships the whole time. And it's, okay, now we're going to be in tanks. Now we're going to be in boats. But we're going to be in ships.
And then didn't they just release Star Fox 2 that was like the originally the canceled Star Fox 2 from the SNES? Wasn't that part of like the SNES
It wasn't
Classic?
recent. It was part of the SNES Classic. Yeah.
I don't know. These games are weird. They're fun. They're fine. They're on rails. There's not a lot of on rails stuff anymore. So, I mean, that makes sense why we don't get a lot of Star Fox anymore. I think Star Fox is one of those series that if a third party developer came by and like gave them a fucking solid pitch, I'm sure Nintendo would be like, yeah, go with God. Here you go.
Yeah.
I could.
It's the yeah, I don't think I mean, I think Nintendo has done its time of experimenting with it, and they just could not find a good formula for it. And I don't think they ever will. I think it's like you said, third parties have to come in, pitch something, and then Nintendo's gonna be like, "Yeah, fuck it, let's do it."
I could see retro studio, like they finished Prime 4 and they're looking for something and they're like, "Hey, we got a killer idea for a Star." I could see them doing a Star Fox.
You know, would be a really cool, and this is just me like ballpark pitching at this point. Give me a fucking Star Fox where the whole community has to work together to fight Andros. Like basically, it's live battle of the solar system, and you have it's kind of like how they're doing uh Helldivers 2, where you have to like they take over each planet, they take over that part of the solar system.
Yeah.
Give us something like that, but for Star Fox.
Oh, that would be good. Josh, we were just pitching good ideas here. My pitch on Star Fox, just do Star Fox 99. Just do
How
Star
would you
Fox
do that
99.
though?
Huh?
How would you do that though? How would you do Star Fox 99 though?
Everyone's fighting Andros and whoever's done the most the like every like you're racing to like do the amount of damage. And so like it's kind of like in Fall Guys when you're racing to earn points and it's the first 20 to hit 12 points to get through the round.
Wait, why don't you just go through the whole entire game and at each level you knock out like 15 people or something like that?
Yeah. And even so like yeah, everyone pulls up and everyone goes on their like the map forks like it does in the other game. That was yeah, it forks both ways and then people are going and it's yeah, whoever gets through their level the fastest without dying and all that. Oh yeah, Star Fox 99. Can we put Star Fox in D?
Yeah, it's fine.
If we pitch games, we're going to be here all night.
Yeah, no.
We
Moving on, Wii. So this is Wii Chess, Wii Sports, I mean, literally everything that had Wii in the front of it, that became a series and it was its own IP.
I honestly think you can put this in the C range, and the other thing I think is that it's amazing that Nintendo was able to escape the shadow of the Wii, because the Wii was everywhere. It was in families' homes. It was in grandparents' homes. It was in nursing homes. It was everywhere. Everyone had a fucking Wii, and it's crazy. And the fact that Nintendo was able, they miscalculated and made a sequel, called it Wii U, which bombed, rightfully so. And the fact that they're able to bounce back with a Switch, and Switch is doing better. Is Switch doing better than the Wii?
Yeah.
I would want to look at those numbers, but I think game-wise, I mean, Wii Sports is the only one that people are really fond of. No one's looking back and being like Wii Chess.
Wii Carnival, yeah.
Wii Carnival. Maybe the Wii. Did they do Wii Resort, or am I thinking of Switch Sports or whatever the hell the sequel was?
I think you're thinking of the sequel.
So I think this is a perfect C. The Wii, put it in the C. Up next is Zelda.
I mean, God, it's Mario's right hand man.
Zelda did the one thing that a lot of these ones that like people are fond of haven't done. Zelda is the thing that like they innovated. They're like, all right, how can we reinvent Zelda? Well, let's have a big open world, but let's not put any icons on the map and just let players explore. Fucking took off. Hey, how do we reinvent that? We split up the island. It's the same island, but now it's like in the air and all split up. And you can build giant woodmen with wieners. Put it out. Even back in the day, we built a sequel to Ocarina of Time using the same engine. We were able to do it really quick. What do? Let's make it a loop. Let's make it a loop game. And guess what? Now everyone's got a fucking loop game 24 or 5 years later. We made Wind Waker. We've got sailing and people hate the graphics. Great. Put it out. We love it. People were upset about the graphics, so we made a more An adult graphic one. Okay. And Link becomes a wolf sometimes. Oh wow, you snuck that up on me. Okay, put it out.
Yeah, they definitely changed it a lot. But let's be honest, Zelda, for the most part, had the same formula. Let's visit all these fucking dungeons, let's clear them, and then let's fight a version of Ganon or Ganondorf or I forget who the third fucking iteration of him is, but let's find some way to fight them. And then let's not even get me started on these fucking branch timeline.
Don't even think about the timeline. But honestly, the dungeons. I mean, the dungeons are the most boring part of Zelda to me now. They were exciting as a kid, but once you've played a handful of them, you've kind of played them all. It's like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
cool, I got a new item. I guess I'm going to use this throughout the dungeon. It's always been the stuff around it is where Zelda is innovating. Again, the time stuff, the sailing, the
The
open
towns,
exploration.
even
Hmm?
the towns. I mean,
The town?
I'll admit there's not a single one where I'm like, oh man, the town's boring. It's like, no, this town's fucking cool. There's so much you can do here.
I do think this one just slides right on up to A, no questions asked.
Of course,
All right, up next, Xenoblade Chronicles. Again, I mean, it's a turn-based RPG, right?
it's not turn based.
Oh my god, I was wrong.
So what, technically, it's what? It's a. I'm gonna have to technically look it up because I don't even remember if it's considered action role playing or if it's just not RPG, but
It's
what's
the
it?
real
Oh,
time, right? Like you're
yeah.
running
So
around with the enemy.
yeah, so it is action role playing. So yeah, it. Think of Final Fantasy 12.
Okay.
I mean, I mean, it's not turn based, but essentially in that style, that's what it is. Um, it's just that is their go to. I mean, I don't want to say like this is like their go to for JRPGs because it is, but it isn't. But like this is like the new age. Like this is their hey, we're starting to get we're seeing this huge branch off of all these action role playing games that are coming out. So we need to get something over here that isn't Mario, something that has um, that style. You know what I mean?
Published by Nintendo. Yep. I was wondering. I was wondering who the developer was. Monolith Soft.
Monolith Soft.
Ooh, I like their logo. Have they done anything else, or is that their? No.
I think that's their bread and butter.
They were the
Well,
Xenosaga people. Okay, this is why anytime I see Xenoblade, I'm like, why does this sound familiar? I was okay. Xenoblade, Bat and Cat, Katos, Bait and Katos, Namco, X Capcom, Soma Bringer, Super Robot Wars, OG Saga, Endless Frontier. Sorry, I'm just going down there. I'm going down there. Okay, Xenoblade Chronicles first one was 2010. Wow.
I think you'd be even more impressed by their support development list.
Dirge, Brawl. They were the reason Meta Knight was so broken.
Yep.
Sky. Okay. Does Nintendo doesn't own them, do they?
No, think no. Actually, I think Nintendo does own them.
Japanese, originally owned by Namco until being bought by Nintendo until
Yep.
2007. Yep. Wow. Makes sense.
They even helped with the Mario Kart World.
Even helped with Mario Kart. Well, they're busy. And Tears of the Kingdom. Can't believe it's been 2 years since Tears of the Kingdom. Obviously, they know what they're doing. Nintendo wasn't going to stick their neck out and buy them. I think the reason they get so much play, the reason they get so much room to work on this series is because they're out here supporting these other titles like crazy. And they're like, hey, how much do you need for your little Xenoblade game? Yeah, okay, here you go.
Here, you need 100 million. Here's 102. Have at it, kid.
Where would you put it, Josh? I know nothing, so where would you put it?
I mean, it's a good C. I mean, I'm not saying it's like the best. Obviously, if it was a better game, they probably would have branched off and tried something. Maybe tried to convince Nintendo to release it all, worldwide. But it's not like oh, you have to play it. It's like no, it's good. I mean, it's Nintendo's. We have Max.
All right, up next, Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem, the better version of Advance Wars. Yeah,
People
I mean,
people like to romance their teachers and their students, I guess.
hey, goes both ways.
People were really weird about that Three Houses game.
I don't blame them though, because it was kind of different for. I mean, in a sense of like story wise, like obviously there's usually some type of like love going on in one of the games, but this one was really weird about it because it's like, hey, we're gonna let you play Fire Emblem, but here's our simulation data.
Yeah. So I do like in Fire Emblem, I don't know if they were the first to do this, but your character dies, they're gone. They're just gone. That's it.
I think they were actually.
And I mean, this was the series that got popular because they had Smash Brother characters in Melee, and folks here in America are like, "What is that?" And then Fire Emblem games started coming out on GameCube and GBA, and then from there on, everyone. I mean, hell, we get everything now, so I do think Fire Emblem's in the B spot if you agree.
I do agree.
All right.
Before we go any further, I do want to mention Switch is actually Nintendo's second highest selling console.
After the Wii.
No.
After the Switch 2.
The Nintendo DS.
That's right. Console, Joshua.
It's technically a console.
Console. All right, it counts. All right, up next is Super Smash Brothers, and if we get this wrong, they will hang us.
Oh boy. Well, okay, let's start with the original. You had
It's
8
fine.
characters.
It's fine. It was a good testing grounds.
Yep. Melee, by far the best.
Melee's the best. Just a fun little romp. I'm not one of those people. It's like turn off items. We're going to Final Destination. Let's go.
It was just whatever. Let's fucking play. I'll be Samus. I will fucking screw attack you to death, and I'll make sure I have my charge up. And if I'm not feeling Samus, I'll go Mewtwo on your ass.
Brawl was just okay.
Brawl was all about Meta Knight. That's all it was.
The
Meta Knight, and you got to fight what's his name, the green Pokemon, legendary.
I forget what he's. A Grazi.
That sounds right. That's the only thing I remember from that, as far as like the story goes. You fought him, and I was like, oh, okay.
Trying to remember what the other ones were called.
3 Smash Brothers 3DS.
Smash Brothers 3DS, Smash Brothers Wii U were the names, right?
Why are we questioning? We can just use Google.
That's what I'm doing right now. Smash Bros was on Nintendo
Ultimate?
64, Melee. It's the newest one.
Oh,
Ultimate.
it's Wii U. Newest one's Ultimate, and then Smash Bros. Wii U.
3DS and
Which
Wii
I'm pretty
U.
sure Wii U and 3DS were exactly the same thing. Just 2 different consoles.
Which was funny. I liked that. I thought that was pretty funny. That they were able to split it up and just do the same game on 2 separate consoles. I mean, and then with Ultimate, they got all these characters out, all these guest characters. That's fine. That's fun. I still think it's B. I mean, it's just okay. It's an okay fighting game, if you want to even call it a fighting game.
It's nice, but it's not like a requirement.
It's nice. They're still gonna kill us.
That's okay.
Even if we put it in A, they'd be like, "I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna fucking kill you."
This last one, that's right, folks. We're finally on the last one. I think we all can agree it's going to be pretty bad.
Nintendo Labo. I thought that was fun. See, when Nintendo innovates, that's when I enjoy them the most.
So great idea and concept. However,
can we explain this for people who don't know what Nintendo Labo is?
Okay, so remember when you were a kid and you had cardboard boxes and you like to make things out of them and pretend? That's basically it.
Yeah, you can make a jetpack. Was it a jetpack? What else was it?
Jetpack. There was a punching machine, so basically, like, you were able to turn yourself into like a box or. What else was there?
Just to get this out of here. Just the fact that it's Nintendo experimenting, put it in the C and be done with it.
Oh, okay. Here we go. So you have the variety kit and the robot kit.
Okay.
The 2 remote-controlled cars, where the vibrations from the Joy-Cons serve to provide momentum and steering to the car. The game software allows players to control the car like a normal remote-controlled vehicle, using the console itself as the controller. Then there was a fishing rod where the Joy-Con sit in the reel and the handle of the rod. The game receives motion input from the Joy-Con to simulate a fishing game. The toy piano, the motorbike, and a house containing a slot to insert different components that can interact with the game software on the console's display. That was the variety kit. Then the robot kit, that was the one specifically that included parts to make the mecha suit.
It's all too much. It's too complicated for me. If I were a parent at this time and my kid wanted this, I'd be like, no. I'm just going to get you a regular cardboard box. But still, I would put it in C just to give Nintendo credit for experimenting.
And then I totally forgot they came out with 2 more different kits, the vehicle kit and the VR kit.
Can you even get these? Are these like $10,000 on eBay now?
Oh, that's a great question.
Do I just need to buy cardboard and fashion it into a Labo so I can sell it on eBay for $1 billion?
Okay, so I see the variety kit on Amazon, $90.
That's about what it was.
I see the robot kit on Amazon for $32. However, I do see the VR kit. I don't remember if this was the price. I don't think it was. $180.
No, that's overpriced. Overpriced.
Yeah.
It's cardboard. It's fucking cardboard. I'm sure someone on YouTube can teach you how to make it. All right, hey, we reached the end. Let's recap this real quick and get the fuck out of here because this has gone on longer than we thought it was going to.
Oh, yeah. Shit, yeah.
And we wanted to do more. All right, in the A tier, we have Mario, Pikmin, and Zelda, of course. In the B tier, we have Animal Crossing, Kirby, Ring Fit Adventure, Fire Emblem, and Smash Brothers. In the C tier, we have Advance Wars, Golden Sun, Metroid, Splatoon, Wii, Xenoblade Chronicles, and Nintendo Labo. In D, we have Donkey Kong, Pokemon, and Star Fox. And then in F, we have F-Zero, Kid Icarus, and Mother. I'm your mother. Sorry, it's an SNL joke. Anyone who knows that will appreciate it. But hey, we did it. We did it. And now we can get ready for Game of the Year. So let's do our stuff and get out of here, Josh.
Let's do it.
All right. I am Nick. You can find me on bluesky@nickkaufman.com. That's also my website. We can find my writing samples, which include stuff on Hard Drive Magazine, harddrive.net, the video game satire site. I have some good pieces on there. I actually have one about Death Stranding 2 that just went up today, so go check that out. You can also find me on Twitch and YouTube at Nick Fat Night. And Josh, where can the people find you?
You can find me anywhere and everywhere, and I'm Josh Saying.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, congrats, Josh. Yeah. And we have SmashingGameTime.com podcast and Words Live there. Go check it out. We'll have all the GOTYSO podcast on there. We'll also have GOTYSO lists. I'm going to do a list. Josh is going to do a list. I'm recruiting some folks to do some lists, so hoping to have some list up there in the next week. Go check it out. The first GOTYSO episode does come out on Monday. That's it. That's right. The episodes come out every day, so Monday through Friday. Check them out. The schedule is up on the socials, so check them out there. Thank you, as always, to Alex Marvin Clark for our intro and outro song, Hunt 'Em Down. We're going to give his song a break here for the GOTYSO. We've got a Luke Crembo song. I love Luke Crembo. He does copyright-free songs that I've been using for stuff for years. So support Alex, support Luke Crembo. We have a link to Alex Marvin Clark's stuff in the SoundCloud, so go check that stuff out. Everyone that's been smashing game time, we hope you had a smashing great time. We'll see each and every one of you next time.